It's been a minute since I've done a live stream for all Elite Wrestling. The fallout to that one pay-per-view I did not watch. We're going to get my thoughts right here in Alyx's World. Hello all and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host Alyx, just Alyx, and this is my, yes, you saw it right, this is my AEW Dynamite review, recap, reaction for September 24th, 2025. The fallout to that one pay-per-view, the only AEW pay-per-view I have not watched. All Out. The only AEW show I have not spent a single dime on. I'm not going to say a single word about it because I didn't watch it. I think that's fair, right? I think it's fair that if I don't watch a show, I don't have an opinion on it. And I'm not going to. People keep telling me it was a good show. Probably. If I had watched it the same day as I watched WrestlePalooza, I would most likely say it was the better show of the two. But I didn't watch it. So, I don't have an opinion on it. And I'm not going to. What I have to say about AEW comes from the standpoint of someone who took a break and is now coming back, at least full-time, to reviews. So, we're going to go from that standpoint. Going into Wrestle Dream, which is how many weeks away? 3 weeks? 3 weeks away? Yeah, it's literally 3 weeks away from this Saturday. Not that far off. Because WWE's PLE, Crown Jewel is 2 weeks away from this Saturday. Oh, they're 1 week apart. We'll go lay it? Okay. So, let's get into it. Are you ready? Let's talk about it. When it comes to Dynamite tonight, I came out of the show thinking, did we push the reset button? Like, when I say I've taken a break from AEW, I'm not saying I stopped watching the product. I've been watching the product. But it feels like somewhere, somehow, they hit the reset button because a lot of the stories that I seem to remember, except for like one or two, going into All Out have come to an end. So like Hangman Page beat Kyle Fletcher, and now Hangman Page is directionless as a world champ. Now it feels like he's getting back into a feud with the Death Riders, which is not a great thing. Don't do that. He fought Lee Moriarty. I don't know why. What did Lee Moriarty do to earn... Was it a championship match? Hold up. Or was it an eliminator? Because I swear to God it was a championship match. I just want to be sure. I don't want to just say random things. But yes. Oh my God. Lee Moriarty got a world championship match. What did he do to earn that? Was it an open challenge? Yeah, that's how bad it is now. Where I'm assuming Lee Moriarty has not gotten any kind of AEW TV time. Because he's the ROH Pure Champion. So I'm thinking the Pure Champ has been wrestling on Ring of Honor. And then out of the blue, gets a world title match. Randomly. Alright, well. And y'all get on WWE for their open challenges. Jesus Christ almighty. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. At all. But, okay, I don't know what they're doing with Hangman. I'm at the point now where I'm like, after that phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal promo by MJF, just give him the belt. I know he apparently lost to Mark Briscoe at the pay-per-view. Look here. MJF is the best talent you have. Best inside the ring, best on the mic, has mainstream appeal, is involved in movies. I think you would be crazy not to put the belt on him at this point. And if not him, maybe Eddie Kingston, who was not on the show tonight. So Eddie Kingston returned on Saturday, not Sunday. And now, nowhere to be found. I was also looking forward to seeing Jack Perry for the first time in forever, because I haven't been looking forward to seeing him in a long time. But I heard that Jurassic Express reunited, and I'm thinking, hell yeah, let me see them next week. Oh, thanks. Jesus Christ. The Acclaimed apparently they're either reuniting or they reunited. Didn't see them tonight. All these returning tag teams, didn't get a whiff of them. But I saw The Demand. Huh? Again, I gotta ask, who is coming up with these tag team names? When did Ricochet and the Gates of Agony become The Demand? Did that just happen this week? Also, why The Demand? I'm not quite sure why that tag team. What about them screams demand? I feel like they could have come up with a badass anime tag team name that would have made a lot more sense. But, okay. Whoever came up with the demand is just crazy. Also, apparently, Hologram is getting an alternate, Dark Reflection, arch nemesis, evil counterpart wrestler who is literally Hologram but black. Remember the Sin Cara storyline where you had good Sin Cara and bad Sin Cara? Remember that when we had two Sin Caras and then the old Sin Cara came back and then the one that replaced them went evil, and so you had two Sin Caras, black Sin Cara and good Sin Cara. Well, now we have good Hologram and bad Hologram. And apparently, bad Hologram is called, I'm not joking you, bad Hologram is called Clone. C-L-O-N. No, literally C-L-O-N. Clone. Okay. So apparently, this is what I was told. Whoever the hell Clone is, he is legit an arch nemesis of the guy that plays Hologram. So, whatever they were called in GCW, and what they were doing in GCW, they're going to be doing that here in AEW. And apparently, Hologram is still undefeated. This man has had how many matches? He's been undefeated this long? The hell was that? What just fell over? Something just fell over. I don't care. But yeah, he's been undefeated this long, somehow, some way. And now he's getting a title match against Kyle Fletcher. And apparently Kyle Fletcher, and I don't know, you tell me if this is true, apparently Kyle Fletcher had a 5-star classic against Hangman Page on Saturday. Be honest with me, was it really a 5-star classic? And I'm serious, I didn't see the match. But I did hear it was 40 minutes long. Was this a... Ooh, what was that? What was that Ring of Honor match? Davey Richards versus Eddie Edwards. Who here remembers Davey Richards versus Eddie Edwards from Ring of Honor and how that match would never end? And that went so long. It was so boring. It kind of reminds me of Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, the Iron Man match. That's a classic, but it's a classic for its time. If you watch it now, it's boring as hell. But yeah, people are saying Kyle Fletcher and Hangman Page had a classic. I'm not hearing that from my fellow commentators. Solid Monster called it excellent. JD's just completely crapped on it and called it boring and basically overhyped and overrated. How do y'all feel about it? Because the crowd didn't react to Kyle Fletcher at all. he came out and he got crickets. So I'm thinking, maybe not. Maybe he didn't actually have that great of a match. But apparently he's going to fight, I don't even know what to call him, hologram, good hologram next week. Is that when bad hologram clone, his clone appears? The dark clone. Maybe we'll have to see. So there's that. They did a teased heel turn for Kris Statlander that went nowhere. You had Kris Statlander win the Women's World Championship, by the way. She beat Toni Storm for the women's title, and yeah, she main evented the show against Mina Shirakawa, which was an alright match. And then they teased her going heel, and then she didn't go heel, which I think was a good move because that would have been stupid. And then Darby Allin came out and told John Moxley that he wants to take him back to hell in an I Quit match. Apparently they couldn't get enough of each other. Can't get enough of your love, baby. At the last pay-per-view in that coffin match. And apparently the I Quit match might be the match that I think is going to be that gore fest, Texas Death Chainsaw Massacre. Oh my God, blood everywhere kind of match. Because it's I Quit, so you already know they're going to go too far. Is it true that Darby Allin set Jon Moxley on fire? Like he just set him on fire? That's hilarious. Oh, you know they're gonna go too far. Yeah, I might have to go ahead and spend the $50 on that. Orange Cassidy's back. Who missed him? Huh? Who missed Orange Cassidy? Nobody? Did JJ Bulldog? Juan Orozco? Not JPEG. Darnell? Dylan Danger? No, nobody missed him. Well, I missed him. I missed Orange Cassidy and his phantom kicks. Not like this gimmick hasn't gotten old at all. What else happened on the show? I'm winging it now. Because I'm trying to remember, like, what was the card? There's no Mercedes Moné on this show. Also no Riho. Oh, we'll talk about Riho, though. That's going to be a massive topic. Oh, you guys, you got to tune into that one. I don't want to get the actual script out. I want to actually see if I can remember it by memory here. I think they had Claudio versus, was it Powerhouse Hobbs? Yes, and then Claudio won that match. Why? I'm trying to think what else. The announcement. Yeah, the big announcement that. So, remember how we said that AEW has too many titles? Well, Tony Khan said, no, we don't. We could use 2 more. The announcement was literally what we all thought was going to be. We all knew it was going to be about the women's tag team belts. So there you go. We it's not like we had 10,000 other championships that AEW doesn't need. So we're going to get women's tag team titles now. Great. Wonderful. I didn't see Cope and Christian on this show, but I did see FTR. And apparently they took out Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix is apparently, is she signed? Is Beth, not Beth Phoenix, Beth Copeland. Beth, is Beth signed to AEW or was that just a one-off? Y'all let me know. So, she got attacked by FTR after FTR lost to Cope and Christian. Of course she did. Of course she got attacked after Cope and Christian won. Because why not give the heels the heat? Why not? Why not let FTR beat Cope and Christian and then attack Adam's wife? Just get all the heat. No, of course. You're going to have them lose to Cope and Christian and then leave them stuck here with nothing to work with. Because that's just smart booking. Yeah, let's have them go after, what are their names again? I forgot. It's Speedball, Mike Bailey, and that other guy, the black guy. I forgot their names. I don't even care. I'm not looking it up. So, like, you had FTR lose, and now you're sending them after a different tag team. We're not going to continue the feud. Apparently, Copeland and Christian are going to go on break. Jet Speed, thank you. Jet Speed. I don't know what to tell y'all. That's just dumb. That's just dumb booking. I haven't seen the match. I'm pretty sure the match was great. But, like, why would you have Cope and Christian beat FTR and then do the angle afterwards where he attacked, or they attacked Adam's wife, and then use that as, like, a way of covering up the fact that they lost? Like, you already neutered them. You already neutered them. It's crazy. I think that's it. Was that the whole show? I mean, I think I'm missing a match. What match also happened? Oh, the Unified title match, International, Continental, not Intercontinental title match with Mascara Dorada, Grand Metalik, but in AEW, him. And apparently people said that was the match of the night. Like the real match of the night, which I agree with, because it's Konosuke Takeshita and Okada. They were in a tag match. So they're still teasing their one-on-one match that's going to happen probably later on this year. Should be a Full Gear. But yeah, I'm assuming that they're just going to keep teasing that. Nothing really else to cover. I think I got everything. Darby Allin had a flamethrower. Whatever else I miss, I will definitely cover in my review portion. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about Gail Kim and Riho. Now, let me preface this before we get into it. What I have to say comes from someone that's been watching wrestling for almost 30 years. Yeah, I've been watching this thing for a long time. And my taste in wrestling is going to be a lot different than modern day wrestlers or modern day wrestling fans. I get that Riho is a fan favorite, especially for this niche audience that is AEW, the AEW sickos. I just have a problem with the way certain fans are reacting to wrestlers who have an opinion. Right? No one has to agree with Gail Kim. No one has to believe what she believes, see wrestling her way. And I think even Gail Kim will let you know you don't have to do that. I just feel like, for me, we've reached a point now where wrestlers just can't even have an opinion. What is wrong with a wrestler not liking another wrestler? In terms of their in-ring style. In terms of how they perform. What is wrong with letting wrestlers just having their own preferences? I used to be that kind of a fan that would get pissed off that a certain wrestler wouldn't like what I liked. And then I grew up. Then I became an adult, and I got a girlfriend, and I started paying my taxes. And then I realized that there are much more worse things to worry about than other people's preferences not matching mine. So you're going to have to help me. Like, why the rage for Gail Kim coming out? And we'll get into it. We'll open up with that first before we get into the review. But essentially Gail Kim coming out and saying, I don't like how Riho dresses, and I don't like her matches. Because that's what it boils down to. We'll get into the weeds of what she really said, but it boils down to, I don't like how she dresses, I don't like how she wrestles, and I don't like her matches. What's wrong with that? Like, on paper, what is wrong with saying, I don't like this wrestler's attire, and I don't enjoy watching their matches. Because that's what Gail Kim said. Yes, I'm simplifying what she said, but ultimately, that's her point. How does Gail Kim not liking a wrestler or enjoying a certain wrestler affect your life? How does it make you enjoy wrestling less? Do you need permission from Gail Kim to like a wrestler? Like if Gail Kim doesn't like something, now you all of a sudden can't like it? And I'm asking this genuinely because I feel like Gail Kim is catching heat from people who don't like Jim Cornette. And here's why I say that. Some of you are like, where did Jim Cornette come from? Jim Cornette is known for crapping on Joshi wrestlers. In this case, Riho. Jim Cornette called her, what did he call her? A child, essentially. A schoolgirl. Japanese schoolgirl. There it is. Called her a Japanese schoolgirl. Didn't take her seriously. Thinks of her as a joke, a comedy wrestler. And I think what happens is when another wrestler echoes those talking points, you don't hear the wrestler, you hear Jim Cornette. And I think Gail Kim is paying for Jim Cornette's opinions. Does that make sense? I don't think this is about Gail Kim having an opinion. I think what happens is Gail Kim said something that played into a certain mindset, a certain viewpoint that AEW fans don't like from a certain commentator, a certain mindset, a certain old school way that they want to get away from. And I think what's happening here is that we're seeing a clashing of generations, a clashing of styles, a clashing of preferences, where Gail Kim is very old school. She wants the matches to be believable, right? We have to remember, Gail Kim, what is she known for? Her matches with Awesome Kong, right? All those matches, and she's had plenty of matches with Awesome Kong. The ones I've seen, I think she's only won one match? Okay, that's not true. She won one by DQ, but then the one she won clean was a no DQ match against Awesome Kong. And even that one, Kong dominated her 80 to 90% of the match. But most of the matches between Awesome Kong and Gail Kim had Awesome Kong dominating Gail Kim and winning. Except for 2 matches. And of those 2 matches that Gail won, Kong dominated basically all of it. So, when you have a Gail Kim criticize a Riho who has victories over Nyla Rose, I'm still sore about that, by the way. That was so stupid. Nyla Rose won the title afterwards. I'm not going to get too upset about that. But, Riho is the inaugural women's champ. She was the first women's champ, y'all. Think about that for a minute. They thought Riho was so big that they made her the inaugural AEW women's champ. And this woman was beating wrestlers 10 times her height, 10 times her size. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this is really that big of a deal. It's just a preference in a matter of just taste and what you're into. I personally, I don't mind saying it, I'm not the biggest fan of Riho. I never was the biggest fan of Riho. And I'm not going to be the biggest fan of Riho. And that's okay. Because I love Nyla Rose. I love Britt Baker. I love Maki Ito. I love Hikaru Shida. Thunder Rosa. Literally every other women's champ. Jamie Hayter. Toni Storm. Timeless Toni Storm, of course. Who came after that? Saraya. Of course I love Paige. Who doesn't love Paige? A lot of people I know, but I love her. I don't care. Who came after that? those all the women's champs? Because Hikaru Shida won it like 3 times. Mariah May, who is now in WWE NXT. Yeah. I think Riho's the only one that I'm not a fan of. The rest of them? Absolutely. So, it's just a matter of taste. That's all it is. Gail Kim's not coming out here telling y'all that you can't like Riho. And if you like Riho, you're a weirdo. Although she did say something about her outfit, which we'll get into. I just personally think that it's not that big of a deal. That's just what I think. So, if you guys don't mind, let's go ahead and move things along. We're gonna go ahead and do the plugs. We're gonna say hello to the people, and then we're gonna get to this Gail Kim and Riho drama. Then we'll do the review of AEW Dynamite. And then I'm going to let you go. So good to have you all back for my AEW live streams. This is the most views I've had in a while. I wonder why these views are now coming back in terms of an AEW stream. And it's not that high, but it's just good to see. But still, good to have you here. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edit help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video you're choosing, whether it's a live reaction, hot topic, or review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, let me know. Follow me on Twitter at Just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on Canada. Give me a follow on Cameo. Give me a follow on Threads. Follow us on Discord. Follow me on Blue Sky, where the skies are clearer. And give me a follow on TikTok. Why? Because I'm the tickest of the talkist. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. And yes, Super Chats are officially on you. Can donate at any point in time during the broadcast. To get your thoughts played live in the air, email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi and get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Are you a Just Alyx guy? Then join the club. Get you an I'm Just Alyx guy t-shirt. Wait for it. Hot the press! Also, get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt, get you a new school Alyx S World t-shirt, and many, many more t-shirt designs coming your way. So stay tuned, join the cause, expand the brand today right here in Alyx's world. Thank you to the lovely people at Surfshark. Surfshark is the VPN that you want. Because when you're on the interwebs, you got people coming from your left, coming from your right. These people, ladies and gentlemen, want to see you. They want to see you fail. They want to take everything that you got. They want to take your booty. Pause. Not, they meant your treasure. And you have to have that VPN that's going to protect you from all that. So, let me tell you something. If that's something that you want to keep an eye on and watch out for, then how's about we get a quick word from our partners at Surfshark. Surfshark, or Surfshark? Who's Surfshark? Is that a bootlegger version? I'm at Surfshark. Before we get to some shout out. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. When you're doing business on the web, having a VPN is almost essential, and many agree there's no better service than Surfshark. Let me tell you why. Surfshark provides you 24/7 protection from hackers, data leaks, malware, and even allows you free access to movie streaming services in different countries. I personally appreciate Surfshark's ability to block all malware websites and scan all downloads for potential viruses. You just never know what could impact your online experience, and navigating has become a lot more safer because of this service. So today, if you visit the link surfshark.deals/justalyx and use the promo code JUSTALYX, you not only get 83% off your monthly payments, but you'll get an extra 3 months for free. This is a massive deal that many of you should take up while it's here. So don't wait, feel safe, get protected by Surfshark today. Thank you all so much for joining me for this lovely live stream. Please show your love to the Mod Squad. Ultra! Sean Nine, Fire Star Heart, Elias, Adimi, New Japan Pro Wrestling Go. Khalil does everything. Huh? Wait, Dylan, a danger, Dylan Danger, Teflon Don, the Mod Father, Zeno, Enigma, Big MGM, and Mrs. Firestar Heart herself, Angel Hollenbeck. Because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you and likes. Please be sure y'all like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. Who is here, ladies and gentlemen? I see T Jr. Good to have you here, Mr. T Jr. I see Daniel Barris Sports Highlights. What day is it? Zach Minger, it is National Cherries Jubilee Day. Well, thank you for letting me know about National Cherries Jubilee Day. Good to have that on the schedule. Didn't know that was a thing. I'm going to just call you what day. I'm going to just be like, Zach, what day is it? Minger. Zach Minger, what day is it? We'll play with it. We'll play with it a little bit. You keep coming up with random days for me. I like it. JM Beer 434, Darnell 16 player, Trey Lucado, RV Parks. Let's go with Mr. Parks. Joe Arredondo, Dro Davidian, not JPEG, Juan Rascal. Ladies and gentlemen, guess who's in the house? It is the World Super Chat Champ, the chosen one, the unwicked. You the twos, and he's the one. Ron Royal Nigales is in the building. He says, just Alex, did you see my email? Don't reveal my big Super Chat donation, though, because that's my retirement match in a few years, so shh. Okay, well, we'll definitely see what you want to do with that. Corpse CA is not here, so you can reveal it. You can reveal it to the chat if you want to, because he's not gonna show up unless he is here and he's just waiting in the wings. JJ, who let the dogs out? Who? JJ Bulldog. Why are fans so SAWT soft? Why are fans so soft when a wrestler always voices their opinions on social media? Well, we'll be fair. We're going to take a look and see what Gail actually said that pissed fans off. SD Kai, is this a rare AEW stream? No, I'm back. I'm back to reviewing AEW weekly. Mo Moon is the only reason, it's the only person. Wait, Mo Moon says Darnell Jackson is the only. Darnell Jackson? Who's Darnell Jackson? Wrong one. One more time. Mamu says Darnell's 16 player is the only person who's out of touch with reality. Hey, sir, let's not insult anyone here. Darnell has every right to have his opinion. Okay? He has every right to feel how he wants to feel. Don't insult anyone for having their opinion. Okay? Now, me and Darnell can agree to disagree. But I'm not going to insult Darnell. What did Darnell say? Darnell said, I think Gail's comments are part of the out of touch crowd mindset that we want to get away from. Not everyone likes something like what Toxic Gem wants. Well, I disagree with you on that. A lot of people are following Jim Cornette for that very reason, because they don't like what AEW is. Asuna Luna, how are you, Alex? Your streams are the best. Well, you're the best, Asuna Luna, because you're here. You make my streams the best. You make me feel like dancing. But anyways, let me go ahead and move things along. Thank you all so much for being here. Be sure you like the video, get these likes up, and give me your thoughts on Gail Kim, Riho drama, and then your scores for Dynamite. So, alright, so let me go ahead and pull up what Gail said, because I want to I want to be fair and actually take a look at what Miss Kang, what Miss Kang or Miss Kim, Miss Kang, Miss Kim, Gail Kim. We're gonna take a look at what Gail Kim says. So she's been okay. First off, let me just say this: Gail Kim tweets too much because I'm trying to find what she said, and it's like I see 10,000 tweets. So I'm gonna need homegirl to put down the phone because you tweeting too much. No, like I'm serious. So like, hold on for a minute. Come with me. Come with me, and you'll be in the world of Elon Musk's butthole. This is what this is. This is Elon Musk's butthole. I know. All right, so look at all these tweets. Like, damn. Oh my God, you tweet too much. Don't call that. All right, so let me scroll back. Let me scroll back to. Okay, here it is. I found it. So right here, this, ladies and gentlemen, is what got Kim in hot water with the AEW fans. For full context, we're going to start from the top, and we're going to see what she said, because it was 4 tweets. So, Gail Kim on Elon Musk's butthole said, I listened to this whole clip, which I said I didn't want clits, but that's fine. The only issue that I had was that he made a comment about her teeth. I will say, and I haven't watched AEW in a very long time, but when I did watch Riho, and nothing against her at all, because I am, scrolling up for part 2, the biggest supporter of all women who want to make it in this business. But I did feel uncomfortable watching her because the camera shots would go up her skirt, and she was always dressed like a little girl, like a very little girl, and it felt improper. I am also, this is the one thing that really pissed fans off, I am also into very believable wrestling. Not everyone is, especially nowadays. And it was very hard. It was very hard for me to believe a little girl that was being portrayed of that size was fighting with the women they had in that division. Nyla Rose. To put it in context, I find Io, Mia, Asuka, Kairi, and Li Yang to be more believable, and I don't feel uncomfortable watching. And that's essentially it. That's it. And then the rest of it is people giving her a hard time and her responding to everybody. Right? It's like, okay, I'm not taking anything away from her talent. I'm talking about what I saw years ago and what made me feel uncomfortable. You know, and everyone's just like, oh my God, Gail Kim, how dare you? You broke my heart. My achy breaky heart. This got so bad that even Kenny Omega, look at this, had to respond. He says, another day and another legend doing the splits on it for yearly TKO gift basket. Doing the splits on it for the yearly TKO gift basket. I mean, tell us how you really feel, Kenny. Now, Gail responded. She says, if you're going to beat around the bush and misinterpret things like the rest of the yahoos, let me clarify that you were wrong, and I am right, because fuck your feelings. And she also says, and if you're not talking about me, then I'll apologize, but with all the tribalistic crazies out yesterday misinterpreting things, I was, yes, assuming so. Yes, Kim, he's talking about you. He's talking about you and your mama. Okay, maybe not your mama, but he's talking about you for sure. And that's where we are. Like that's it. I'm not joking you. Like that's literally why we're here. That set off a crazy snowball effect on social media, at least Twitter, of fans going crazy, going after Gail. Oh my God, Gail is sexist. Gail Kim, she's racist. Gail Kim doesn't appreciate. She's a hypocrite. Ain't she small? She's little, eensy beensy, short stick man. No, you know what I mean? Like she's small and she doesn't understand what it's like to wrestle like Riho. Like, people just went nuts. And I just want to say, let me just put it to you in this way. Because I know a lot of people are in love with Riho. I personally, I don't get it. I was never, and I mean this, I was never, ever a fan of Riho. From day one, I said no. I don't get it. I don't like it, and I don't get it. Now, if they would have pushed the magical girl, I might have let that slide. What's her name? The magical girl that doesn't wrestle no more? Might have let her slide. But they didn't. When they started to push Nyla Rose, was all for it. Britt Baker was all for it. Hikaru Shida, yes! All day, every day. I love her. Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Saraya, Thunder Rosa, Thunder Rosa. All day, every day. I was never a fan of Riho, but I get it, okay? I can 1000% understand what the appeal of Riho is, right? The underdog. The one that you don't expect to kick ass, kicking everybody's ass. I get that. It makes the little man feel like, if she can do it, so can I. Or they're just weirdos who likes Japanese girls who are short. That too. But regardless of what your preference is, I understand it. Everyone has their own taste. Riho is going to have her fans, and I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. What I am going to say is this. Don't get upset that certain people don't feel the way that you feel. I happen to agree with the Jim Cornettes and the Gail Kims on Riho. I don't believe her matches are believable. I hate the fact that she beat Nyla Rose for the women's title in the inaugural match. I thought that was stupid. I thought that made Nyla Rose feel inferior and not like the monster she should have been. I just don't buy it. I think Riho has a very weak moveset. Her Tiger Feint kick, the 619 that she does, looks bad every time she tries to hit it. Her beating people like Britt Baker and all these other wrestlers make no sense at all. I don't see the appeal. But I don't need to. And that's okay. My thing is this. Don't be upset that certain wrestlers, certain people, whether they're men, women, whatever, WWE, AEW, outside the business, inside the business, don't get upset that people don't like what you like. That's what's killing me here. We just read through what Gail Kim said. Nothing she said was out of bounds. She talked about the camera work going up her skirt, which is creepy as fuck. I don't remember or recall that happening at any time. If it happened, that's creepy as hell. But also, she doesn't believe her matches are believable. Okay, that's just taste. That's just a preference. Gail Kim, and I gotta remind people, Gail Kim had a series of matches with Awesome Kong that changed the trajectory of female wrestling forever. Gail Kim's feud with Awesome Kong was so powerful that it literally, although Lita and Trish did it first, but it made people look at women and go, okay, that can main event a show. I'm serious. And the thing about those matches, Gail Kim, how tall is Gail Kim? Gail Kim is like, what, 5'4"? 5'4", give or take, right? Awesome Kong is massive, much taller than her. Awesome Kong dominated Gail Kim. Like 90%, 80% of those matches. Gail Kim would have those comebacks but it was mostly just Awesome Kong whipping her ass. And again, like, they've had multiple matches. I can recall 3, but they've had more than 3. I know. I can recall 3. Of those 3, Kong won 1. She beat Gail Kim for the title. Gail Kim won another by DQ because Awesome Kong went too far. And then Gail beat her. But the match that Gail beat her in was a no DQ match, and she had to use weapons. So, when Gail Kim talks about believability, when she talks about matches that create the sense of that it feels real, that's what she's talking about. Right? She's not talking about little people can't win matches. Like, we can't have a David versus Goliath situation where a little guy can't beat a big guy, or a little girl can't beat a big girl. That's not what she's saying. She says it needs to be believable. And I agree with her from the standpoint that Riho's matches, a lot of the time, don't feel believable to me. Like, Riho, she doesn't win a lot. But, like, when you see her wrestle and you see her beat certain people, I'm like, no. And I understand why Kenny Omega got upset, in particular at Gail Kim for what he said. Gail Kim went after his girl. Like, Kenny Omega is the one that introduced Riho to America. Introduced Joshi wrestlers to America. Right? And Gail Kim said, that was dog shit. So what do you do? What do you do? You have to defend the women, the people that you brought to the table. And so I 100% understand, this is just my opinion, why Kenny Omega got involved. But I'm sorry, like, if you're going to ask me to choose a side, I'm old school. Like, if I see someone like Riho, which is, listen, Riho, so let me give you an idea of how short Riho is. Gail Kim is 5'4", and she's considered short, right? Gail Kim mentioned Io Sky, Kairi Sane. Who else did they mention? They mentioned Li Ming, right? All of them very short wrestlers. Riho is shorter than them. And I'm serious. Like, Riho is not only skinnier than Io, Kairi, and Gail Kim, she's shorter than them. So, at some point in time, there has to be a cutoff point, right? Where it just stops being believable. For this person to beat these big. If the average female is 5'4" to 5'9", right? With exceptions of Rhea Ripley and others being 6 and over, right? But the average female is like 5'4" to 5'9". Riho is what, 4'10"? 4'9"? She's like 4'9", and she weighs like 50 pounds. And I'm not exaggerating. How could she believably beat any of these women without some kind of shenanigans? I think the women's division, in my opinion, got better when they start putting the belts on a Nyla Rose, on a Britt Baker, on the Toni Storms, on the Sarayas, on the regular-sized women, and stopped promoting Joshi wrestlers, right? Hikaru Shida being the exception to the rule, and Maki Ito being the exception to the rule. But, Mo Moon says something messed up, but it's sad that I agree with him. He says, I'm afraid that a strong gust of wind could blow Riho away. Messed up that he said that, but he has a point. This girl's little. And not like little as in cruiserweight Rey Mysterio. No. She's smaller than that. You can't get mad at Gail Kim, who grew up old school, trained in the old school the old school ways of professional wrestling. You can't get mad at her for looking at Riho, looking at her matches, and going, nah, no, that's not for me. And that's all it is. She didn't say she was a bad wrestler. She didn't say she had no talent. She didn't say you can't like her. And she didn't call you stupid for liking her. Right? All she said was, she looks like a little girl. I feel like I'm watching a teenager being harassed by the camera. And it feels wrong. And I don't believe her matches. That's literally all she said. That's it. So, in short, Gail Kim is not a fan of Riho. That's it. That's all she said. That's all she said. And yet, here come the AEW sickos. She's racist. Oh my God. She's playing into the toxic mindset that Jim Cornette started. How dare you, Gail? You're supposed to be a legend in the business. And I'm sitting here like, she didn't do anything or say anything wrong. Like, she just had an opinion. She's like, I don't find Riho's matches all that great. That's it. It's an opinion. I had, oh my goodness, I've had a lot of women. I had Maria. I've had Crystal. I've had Victoria. I've had SoCal Val. Medusa. I've had all these women on my streams. I've had all these women on my shows. And all of them have their own tastes, have their own preferences. I never at any point got so angry at what they said. Medusa. Hall of Famer Medusa, Alundra Blaze, came up and said that women don't draw. She straight up said women's wrestling doesn't draw. On this channel. Do you see me losing my mind? No. It's her opinion. That's her way of saying, I don't think women's wrestling is all that great. What are you going to do? Gail Kim, in my opinion, no, not even in my opinion, factually, objectively speaking, did nothing wrong. Did nothing wrong. I just personally feel like, and this is just my opinion, that all she did was just stay her opinion and people went wild. Now, someone's telling me that Riho and Io Sky are the same height. I don't think that's true. Let's see. How tall is Io Sky? Io Sky. Oh, it said E, like literally EO and then Sky. Let me type it in. How tall is Io Sky? So Io Sky is 5'1". Okay. Io Sky is 5'1". Let me look at Riho now. How tall is Riho AEW? And Riho is... So AEW builds Riho as 5'1". But she's not 5'1". I think last time I saw she was like 5'9", actually. She's not 5'1". Because you can look at her and go, that's not true. Unless she actually grew a few inches. Riho, they say Riho weighs 99 pounds. 99 pounds? Yeah, right here. Riho is 4'11". I mean, that's not that far. To be fair, honestly, 5'1", 4'11". Okay, so Io is like 1 inch taller. Or 2 inches taller. It's like literally 2 inches taller. So, yeah, 4'11", 99 pounds. I'm sorry, I mean this sincerely. Like, If Gail Kim doesn't like Riho, who gives a fuck? And I seriously ask that. Who cares? How is Gail Kim not liking Riho affecting your life? How does that affect your ability to eat, sleep, drink? How does that affect your ability to go to work, make money? How does that affect your ability to make friends? How does that affect your ability to move forward with your life? And how is Gail Kim not being a fan of Riho racist? Because I'm seeing that go around on social media and it's pissing me off. How is Gail Kim not being a fan of Riho racist? How? Explain that to me like I'm 5. Because I want to hear this. I want to hear your excuse on that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think people are overreacting and they're getting their panties in a bunch because a wrestler had an opinion that was different from theirs. And I think that's crazy. So, that's just my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Like, what do you feel about Gail Kim and her opinion on Riho? Do you agree with Gail? Do you think she was too harsh? Were you offended by what she said? Let me know, because I'm seriously considering, like, finding all these AEW sickos and just introducing them to my therapist, because they might need it. I just don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. All right, so you give me your thoughts below about what I said. I'm gonna move on to AEW. No, Mike. So we're not gonna go in order. I'm just gonna talk about it. The big announcement, Tony Khan's big announcement, is that we have new championships coming in. Those titles are the AEW Women's Tag Team titles. I know. Apparently, we didn't have enough belts. How many belts does AEW have? And let me go ahead and actually count. I'm not counting Ring of Honor, because screw Ring of Honor. So, we have the AEW Men's World Title, TNT, Continental, International, Unified. Then you got Men's Tag, Trios. So that's all the men's. That's 7 men's. You got TBS. You got Women's World. Then you got, I feel like I missed one. And you got all of Mercedes' belts. All 10,000 of Mercedes belts. No, I'm not going to do that. There's one more. What's the other belt that I missed? If I remember, I'll bring it up. And then we got the new belt, the AEW Women's Tag Team title. So that's 10 champions. Holy shit, 10 champions. Actually 11, because there's 2 belts. 12. 2 belts for the men, 2 belts for the women's tags. And then trios. Crap. Did I say trios? I did say trios. It's too many belts, y'all. It's too many belts. And that's not counting Ring of Honor. I'm not doing Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor got too many belts. Like, Ring of Honor has... Like, check this out. Ring of Honor has Ring of Honor Women's Championship, Ring of Honor TV Women's Championship, Ring of Honor Pure Women's Championship, and then the Men's TV, Men's Pure, Men's Tag, Men's Trios, then Men's World. Jesus Christ. Oh my God! Why so many belts? Ladies and gentlemen, it's just way too many belts. It really is just way too many belts. And before long, when you have this many belts, your champions don't feel as special. They don't feel special when you have so many goddamn belts. What happened to the days of having World Champ, Mid-Card, Tag, Women's? If you wanted to add another mid-card belt, sure. But Jesus Christ almighty. 10 belts? Now, don't get me started on WWE. WWE also has too many belts. But at least it makes sense. Not really, but you get why they have the amount of belts they have. Here in AEW, I just think Tony just wants belts. Enough unnecessary belts for a Kingdom Hearts character. I love it. All the Keyblades. There are too many belts. There are way too many belts on my television screen when it comes to AEW. Mercedes Moné having belts doesn't help. Doesn't help. Well, we got them. We got women's tag team titles. Let's see how long they last. Let's see what they're going to do with them. I'm assuming we're going to give it to Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Is that the tag team? Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. We might give it to Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa. Maybe. But like Kris Statlander and... I thought they were going to do Kris Statlander and Homegirl. Willow Nightingale. I think they're going to do Kris Statlander and Feel the Wrath! Harley Cameron! We might see Kris Statlander hold multiple belts. I'm cool with that. I like Kris Statlander. So there you go. Y'all go crazy over that. Like, what the hell? And I mean that. You know who they should bring back? Bring back Mercedes, not Mercedes Moné, but Mercedes. Oh crap! What was her name? What was her last name? Mercedes Martinez. Thank you, Mercedes Martinez and Deontay. Where's Athena? Taking a break. She's taking a break. She deserves a break, especially after this show. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that was the big announcement. The rest of the show was whatever, if I'm being honest with you. Hangman Page, he had a promo backstage where he said Kyle Fletcher took him to the limit. Take me to the limit. And then he's challenging Lee Moriarty for the world title. I don't know why, because he's crazy. And then they said Brodito will be defending their tag team belts against Bishop Khan and Toa Leona, or that's The Demand. Who's coming up with these names? The Demand? What? The match was good. I like that we're booking the Gates of Agony as monster heels. That's good. I like that. It works for Ricochet, who should be a champion right now. Apparently Ricochet and the Gates of Agony beat the Hurt Business, the Hurt Syndicate. I thought they hurt people. They hurt people. I thought they hurt people. But they lost to The Demand. And so they got a random ass tag team title match and Brodito beat them. Okay. So they win their match and then lose this match. Great. Wonderful. Mark Briscoe's backstage teasing Orange Cassidy. Woohoo! Renee Paquette is talking to Kris Statlander, the new champ, and Harley Cameron is like my spirit animal, and she's like stealing the show, and she's not even the center of focus of the promo. But Harley Cameron is, being the hype girl for Kris Statlander, and Renee asks Chris, so how did it feel winning the belt using Wheeler Yuta's finisher? And we're like, ooh, are they teasing her going heel tonight? Because that's what I got. They were teasing her going heel. It went nowhere, but still. Hangman Page took on Lee Moriarty. Whatever. I don't understand what they're trying to do with Hangman Page. He's not that dude, right? He's not the kind of dude that gets people over by you simply having a match with him. He ain't that guy. I know they want him to be, but he's not. So the match is happening. It's a good match, but I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. And so he beats Lee Moriarty, and I'm just like, did that get him over, or was that just a match for the sake of having a match? And then after that, they had Copeland talking to Christian. Cope and Christian backstage. Cope, who had his wife attacked by FTR, says, I had to leave. I have to be with my family. And so he's going away for a little bit. Christian's going to have to deal with the Wayne family by himself. FTR and Cash Wheeler came out to get some heat on themselves for attacking Beth. And then they're interrupted by Willow. And I'm like, why is Willow interrupting them? And Willow's like, Beth Phoenix, or Beth Copeland, was my hero. She's the reason why I'm here. And you guys are assholes. And then FTR act like they're going to attack Willow. And then Jet Speed run out there and go, nah. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're now getting ready to do a feud between Jet Speed and FTR. What? Of course that makes sense, right? Because they lost to Cope and Christian. Couldn't give them no fucking heat. You had to have them just lose to Cope and Christian for no freaking reason. That's such a dumb booking decision. Why would you have... Whatever. Let's see. Maxwell Jacob Freeman had a phenomenal post-match promo after he lost to Mark Briscoe. And you see him with thumbtacks in his arm, and all over his chest, and his knee. And he's talking about how he's just the best at this. How he feels like he's missing something, how he's losing, and how he lost his edge, recapping everything that he's been to. And then he says when he comes back, he's going to be the most dangerous son of a bitch that you've ever seen, and he's going to reclaim the world title. His delivery, the passion, everything that he said just made me go, why isn't he the world champ? Why is Hangman Page the champ? Whatever. So there's that. The Conglomeration that now has Kyle Fletcher, wrong one. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Roderick Strong, because Adam Cole's not there no more. Baby. Poor guy. But I like seeing Orange Cassidy make his return with Don Callis rolling out a new painting, right? And then they lift the curtain to show a new painting, and it's Orange Cassidy who ripped up the painting. That was great. So it was the Conglomeration versus the Don Callis Family. And of course, the Conglomeration won. It's of course Hologram that got the pinfall over Hechicero. And then afterwards, Hologram standing inside the ring, and then we see Kyle Fletcher come out to crickets. And then he starts talking about Hologram being undefeated for like 34 matches. I'm like, he's been undefeated this entire time? What? So he's undefeated. And then he challenges them to a TNT title match next week. And then he starts talking about how he's a world champ. And he proved it against Hangman Page on that show I didn't watch. So is he a world champ, guys? Is he a world champ material kind of guy? I don't know. He's fighting Hologram next week, so maybe not. And then immediately after this, they showed a commercial or like an ad for the evil dark clone of Hologram. Clone. Yeah. I think after this was Claudio versus Powerhouse Hobbs, right? They teased having Jurassic Express next week. Boo! No Eddie Kingston. No Scissor Me Daddy Ass. Pause. No Jurassic Express. I hate it. But Claudio Castagnoli and Powerhouse Hobbs. Oh, this match was... the crowd was dead quiet for this match. It was a Hobbs fight that didn't get over very well, and Claudio won with the small package when Pac interfered. And then after the match, the Death Riders hit the ring, and then Samoa Joe makes the save, and then Hangman Page makes the save. So it looks like Hangman Page is getting back involved with the Death Riders. Jesus Christ Almighty. And I think after this was the main event, right? Yep, Kris Statlander versus Mina Shirakawa. Match was good. I enjoyed it. I like both women. Kris Statlander's great. Always gonna enjoy her stuff. Main event though. Whatever. You have Wheeler Yuta out there, and then you have Death Riders come out after Kris beat Mina Shirakawa with the seat belt, the same move that Wheeler does. And then they get inside the ring. They embrace Kris Statlander. And they tease Kris Statlander joining the Death Riders. They start teasing like, oh, she's in, she's in, she's in. They raise her arm, they give her a hug. And they all look at Harley Cameron like, fresh meat. Reference. Who knows where that one comes from? Churchable. That's your clue. Churchable. Now, they tease Kris Statlander getting ready to turn heel, and then Kris said, nope, and then they attack, and by they, I mean Kris attacks Wheeler Yuta, and then she goes up to she goes up to John Moxley, and gives him the double middle finger, which was awkward as hell, and then she runs away and gets into the crowd and splits. And as soon as she's done, you hear Darby Allin's music kick, and he comes out with a flamethrower. And he's firing the flamethrower. They're backing off, and Claudio just casually walks in front of the flamethrower like he doesn't feel it. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this dude? And then they back off, they run away, and then Darby's like, I want to play again. I want to play with that booty. Pause. I want to play with you. Pause. He wants to wrestle him. We'll let that one go. He wants to fight him at WrestlePalooza. No. Wrestle Dream. The other wrestle show. He wants to fight him at Wrestle Dream in an I Quit match. Oh, Lord. Now, that's going to be the match that people are going to be squirming over. That's going to be the match where they basically kill each other. And I can't wait. Take my $50 right now, Tony. Take it, goddammit! So there you go. There's that. I think that's it. Was that Dynamite? That's Dynamite. There you go. That's the show. So what y'all think? How y'all feeling? How you living? What in living color? How y'all feel about the show? Like Gail, Kim, Riho, Dynamite. Talk to my baby in the live chat. Thank y'all for joining me. Tyler O Gaming. What's good, Tyler O? Good to have you back, my friend. Where you been? Darcy Chatham, Xavier Jackson. Good to see some YouTube members in his house. Alright, let me get your thoughts on the Gail Kim Riho stuff. JJ Bulldog said, no Mercedes Moné. Good, I love this show. Because she's not in. Beth Phoenix is not signed. Oh, good, Beth Phoenix is not signed. Or Beth, Beth, dagnabbit, she's not signed. Beth Copeland? Whatever. Let's see here. Riho is not even a schoolgirl. Riho is the same age as Rhea Ripley. Are you serious? How old is Riho from AEW? Hold on. Let me do this. How old is Riho from AEW? She's 28? Rhea Ripley is 28? Holy shit! They are the same age. I didn't think Rhea Ripley was 28 though. Alright. I gotta get my life together. Jesus Christ. I still remember the third match from Kong. Yeah, that match between Awesome Kong and Gail Kim. Beautiful. Beautiful. Certain fans are diehards for who they are with, no matter what. Yeah, I get that. There are a lot of diehard Riho fans, but Jesus Christ. Like for real. Juan Roscoe. Wrestling fans are immature nowadays. JJ Bulldog. It's like wrestlers don't have freedom to have opinions due to these fickle, soft SAWFT soft fans. New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl. Again, if Cornette was saying what Gail said about Riho, people would be agreeing with him. Essentially. Darnell 16 player says, well, Gail Kim went too far to me because it's like everyone else and their mothers has done nothing but hate on AEW for months to years at this point. Well, AEW did a lot to deserve. They did a lot to warrant that. I'm just saying. Dirty Dutch Mantel had said in an interview about Gail Kim, Amazing Kong, improving the women's division. Victoria Winter, Daphne. I miss Daphne. No disrespect towards Riho, and if I'm guessing, she was a student of Kenny Omega, but I am not a big fan of. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hers either. Whatever happened to Hikaru Shida? I have no idea. What is Hikaru Shida doing right now? I mean that. What is she doing right now? Ultra Shot 97 says, Twitter never fails to be a cesspool. Gail Kim was just speaking out of her. Yeah, she was just speaking out her opinion. That's it. Gail Kim is not even TKO. She's not even hired by WWE. That's what's crazy about it. She wants that. She doing the splits for the TKO money. Like, bro, she doesn't work for WWE. The fuck? Gail Kim was a huge name for women's wrestling in TNA at the time, when it was needed with Awesome Kong and the Beautiful People. Oh yeah. Like, they carried the women's division during that, what was that, 2007, 2008? Oh, the golden age of TNA. Joseph Winters, Rio underdog who always wins is not an underdog. That's true. IWC is so childish every time someone gives out their opinion on a wrestler to who they like or don't like. Yeah, that is true. Ronwa Nagala says, I used to be from IWC, and I got out of it when I found out that they're fickle. They're fickle. Darnell, 16 player. People have gotten mad, and I don't blame them. They are out of touch with the times and progression of professional wrestling now. It isn't big, sweaty meatheads or blonde bombshells in high demand only. Damn. My thoughts on Jasmine Nix. I don't have any thoughts on Jasmine Nix. I look at her and go, she fine as fuck, but that's about it. I don't watch her. I haven't seen her wrestle, so. Okay, that's all I got. Her opinion was wrong. It put her in the same crowd as Jim Cornette. Both are out of touch with the times of wrestling now. They hate everything unless you're an old school meathead or bombshell. Wow, he really... Darnell does not like Gail Kim right now. Like, Jesus. Tell us how you really feel. Okay. Dynamite. How we feel about Dynamite? They need an AEW Women's TNT title. They got one. It's called TBS. Please don't do another one. A thunderstorm can knock down Riho. Jesus Christ. Adam Ritter. I guess this is why most people can't tell who's champion. Yeah, because it's too many champs. Andre Lavandaro says, after tonight's new belts, no more belts. Honestly, real talk, no more championships, Tony. We're all out now. No, there are no more champs. All right, after the introduction of the women's tag team belts, don't give no more championship belts. Enough. Too many belts. Too many belts and too many damn companies. Too many opportunities, honestly. More opportunities is great, but like, if everyone has a title, then no one's special. All right, so Ronway Nagales, check this out. Folks, don't tell Corpse CA about this. In my retirement match in a few years, once I got all in my list done, I plan to donate $5,000 to surpass both him and Three Diglets and retire as the new world champ. What in the world? You for real? Tyler O Gaming, he says, I know this ain't AEW related, but where's Jacob Fatu? Good question. Now on TV, where he should be. How long will Edge be gone? Good question. Probably for a while. Joe Arredondo, where is Britt Baker? Where is Britt Baker? Good question. At home. Not being used. Yeah, no more belts. Momo, wrestling fans are immature now. Whoa, buddy. You've been living under a rock. Not Dwayne Johnson, but an actual Rock. Hey, Mo Moon, Darnell 16 player, if y'all gonna have it out like that, why don't you do it for the championship? On Friday. This Friday, on Friday Night SmackDown. How's about you guys? You donate and you have it out. You hash it out for the Super Chat International title. And try to win the belt from Corp CA. If y'all have a problem with it, why don't you start donating and put your money where your mouth is? Take it inside the ring. The Super Chat Championship ring. This Friday. Matter of fact, I'm booking it. And now you have to show up. Both of you have to show up now. Friday Night SmackDown. And you can argue about Gail Kim and Riho for the belt. And Corp CA might let you take it. Might. Who's that what's that hero movie? Syndrome from The Incredibles. When everyone's super, no one will be. Deep. That's deep. Alright, y'all, that's enough. Not a bad AEW stream. So I will be back for AEW next week. And then I think in 3 weeks from this Saturday, I will be doing a review of Wrestle Dream. Because they're doing Jon Moxley and Darby Allin in an I Quit match, so I already know that's going to be the match they go too far in, so I can't wait for that. And yeah, thank you all for joining me. Not a bad stream to come back on. I think we're back officially. But do me a solid favor, leave a like, leave a comment, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that button to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. And donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. I love you all. And I will catch you guys next time. Right here at Alyx's World. A place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. See you this Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Peace. When you're